workshop. And I'll actually pass over to you now to introduce yourself, if that's okay.
Sure. So hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Antonis, or Antonios, both are correct. Like I explained before to the dear hosts, it's a Greek thing that confuses everyone. So welcome to the confusion. I'm currently the vice chair of Unconditional Basic Income Europe, which is an organization an umbrella organization in Europe trying to gather around and coordinate the different organizations and activists fighting and advocating for basic income, which is the cause that unites us all, I believe. So I'm also a very creative person, and I try to use this creativity to further advocate for basic income. And this workshop has more or less that purpose. I should announce to you that this will be a very interactive workshop. So it will be very little of me speaking and a lot of you doing stuff. So if you came here waiting, expecting a presentation or, I don't know, anything passive or a lecture or something like that, I'm afraid this is not a place for you. But if you came here willing to actively participate, then you're more than welcome. So that's the first announcement. Yeah, let's see. I hope everyone who stays expecting to participate actively. The second thing is that we will be using the internet and a couple of different platforms. You are on Zoom already, so we will be talking with each other and communicating with each other on Zoom, but we'll also be using an external platform for essentially keeping notes and having virtual post-it notes and all these things, and do the interactive part of the workshop. I will share a link to that in a minute or so. That's the second thing. So for that purpose, it would be much easier if you're participating from a computer, a laptop or a desktop computer, instead of a phone. If you need to switch to another device, then it's better if you do it now. Before did we already lock the waiting room, Joanna, or no?
Yes, we are locked, I believe.
Oh, so yeah, I think there is a problem with Zoom. If you're signing off, you cannot sign back in. So that may also be an issue when you lock the room. The reason we're locking the room is that this is an interactive workshop. So if you join halfway in, then you will be basically lost. You need to be actively following the whole process. Otherwise, oopsie. Right. So let's see. Anything else that I wanted to say? Before we begin with anything active, anybody has a quick comment or question or anything like that?
Am I right just to read the mission statement for?
That is one.
Yeah. Thank you. It's just a statement that the volunteers collectively came up with over the past few weeks that sort of is encompassing what we hope the Congress will be, and every session I think will be repeating this. So the statement is: we believe that freedom from poverty and human security should be a basic human right, and we believe that basic income is the best method of transferring this right into a living reality. The time for a basic income has come, so we're here to talk about how we make it happen. How we can only achieve this through cooperation and collaboration, and our mission with this Congress was to bring speakers and attendees from all over the world together to take this idea into reality. Yeah, just wanted to say that. Thank you. All yours now. I'm going to mute and step down.
Cool. So how do you get from idea to reality? What a big question, right? How is a workshop on writing fiction? That's another thing that I wanted to make clear for everyone. This is a workshop that will help you develop some basic skills to write fiction. So it's not about writing a report or writing a novel. It's concretely about writing fictional stories. So again, if that's what you came for, wonderful. If not, then maybe you still have a minute to switch gears. Yeah, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this link to the external platform that we're going to be using. Joanna, should I share it in this chat or in the Hoover chat or both?
I think both is always safest.
Yeah, right. So here's a link to the chat on Zoom, and I'll share it also on Hoover. Craig mentioned that he cannot. Craig, can you hear? Give a nod if you can. But I just noticed on Hoover you mentioned you cannot hear anything. And I see your image frozen as well, so I'm not sure if it works. Yeah, we're having messages of people saying they cannot access on Hoover. So maybe we can unlock the waiting room for another minute for giving one last chance for people to join.
Sure. Yeah, Hamid, are you okay to unlock momentarily?
Yeah.
Would you like me to unlock?
Yes, unlock for like a minute because there are several people that have been trying to connect for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then we'll lock in 1 minute again.
I have unlocked.
Great. This is also your chance, if you're on mobile, to switch to a desktop or laptop. So please do so now, because this will not work on a mobile unless you have a super large mobile for some reason, like you got it from the 90s. Right. So let me, yes. All right, I shared it on both. At the meeting again, Greg. Zoom also has reactions, so can you give a thumbs up using the reactions if everything works on your side, if you can hear everything, if you can see everything? Or is this a bit counterintuitive? Like, let's switch gears. If you do have a problem, then use a reaction to state it so we can solve it. It doesn't make sense to me. I just realized that. Also, you have like 30 seconds to grab a coffee or tea or anything you will be drinking during the process. Let's see.
Antonio, we had before 27, now we got 24. Shall I leave the room open yet?
Let's see. If nobody, all right. I just noticed a message from Jessica Schultz that she cannot use a microphone or camera, so that will not be possible. Can somebody reply while I check the other platform? But you can only join if you can.
What's the name? And I'll send her a message.
It's on the public chat of the workshop.
Oh, okay.
So on Hova.
Okay, I'll go to Hova and pass the message.
Yeah.
So the answer is that it's not possible for her to join.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that you need a microphone and ideally a camera as well to join.
Okay.
Now, let's see. Have you joined already the platform through the link that I shared? By the way, so like I'm moving my face up and down, and also you're too many to fit in one gallery view. So when I ask something and I want you to like give you a thumbs up, use the reactions on Zoom. Otherwise, I will probably not see your face or your thumb, your real thumb. So let's see. Hopefully, everybody, the 24 that are joined, that have joined already, are the ones that should be here. I think now it would be a good time to lock the meeting room again. So I see several people have joined already. Well, I see only 6 have joined already. So please, everybody, use the link that I shared. I've shared it both on the Zoom chat and on the Hova chat. Please use it and it will open up a window in your browser. So this is where we will be working on the workshop. If you've joined already, then the first step is, let me bring everyone where they should be. Someone. All right, everyone's here. So you can already see that there is this big square, and there are things like that look like sticky notes. This is kind of what they are. So either use one of the existing sticky notes or add a new one, either by double clicking within the space or by using the buttons on the left side. Now you're realizing in practice why it's much easier on a desktop or a laptop instead of a mobile. So what I want you to do in this block is to essentially give an idea of who you are so we know who we have on board. I see only 8 people have joined the platform, so let me know if you have any technical issues, because there is 25 people in the call and only 8 on this page, 9 now.
So just to confirm, there's a link on the Hoover chat. So if you go to the session in the Hoover platform and you look at this session called Yes, Writing Future Stories, there's a little chat box that has all the information, and there's a link that takes us to an external website which is called Mural, and that is where we are meeting for this next part, if that makes sense.
Yes, Luke has just shared the link again, and it is also on the Zoom chat, but you should have access to that as well. So please open that. I see now 11 people, still half of you. Let me summon everyone here.
Vivian, I noticed that your hand's raised. Did you want to say something?
Vivian, can you?
Yes,
Yeah.
just to say that I'm lost. I can't find the platform or how to go there. Yeah, I saw your link at one point, but now it disappeared. I'm an expert in messing up this technical stuff.
All right. I just shared it again in the chat of this Zoom meeting. And if you go, you can see it either from here, you can access it from here, or from the chat of this particular session on Hova. It's the last link on this chat.
But it's Hoover. I I don't know where it is. I'm not there. I'm
Okay. Can you see the chat here on this Zoom window? There's a chat button.
Yeah,
on the
I saw it.
bottom.
It has disappeared.
Maybe are you using your laptop or is it a mobile phone? And now we lost you. Whoever else is having like a technical issue, please raise your hand so we can solve it before we continue. I see 11 people have joined, so there should obviously be a few more. Once again, we're using an external platform called Mural, and the link to join the thing that we'll be using is on the chat here on Zoom, as well as on the chat of the session on Hova. So it should be relatively easy to find. This will lead you to a new tab or a new window on your browser. So you'll be accessing this through your browser. And we see already some nice people here from Göttingen, from the Netherlands, from San Francisco, from Halifax, from Leeds, Bristol, Scotland. Cool. Edinburgh. Only one from Edinburgh? Would expect more. This is hosted by the Scottish BN network. Another one from Bristol. Nice to have you all here. And still, I see only 11 people have joined. If you have a technical issue, please unmute yourself and speak up, or raise your hand so we can give you the right to speak, because you will be needing this platform for the rest of the workshop. This is where we'll be working. Now it's 10. It used to be 11. Again, this will, I see some people with their hands over the camera, which makes me assume that you're using a mobile phone. This will not really work on a mobile phone. It's better if you use a desktop or a laptop computer. 11 people on the platform. I don't want to waste the time of those who have already joined. So, Joanna, if you can please keep an eye and solve the technical problems of whoever is trying to join, and the rest of us will try to move in 2 different speeds. Right, so the first block is essentially an introduction to see who we have here. And the second block that I will move you to now, here you should be seeing this, is moving more to using the sticky notes that we'll be using throughout the session, and use the existing sticky notes or create new ones by double clicking or by using the buttons on the left to write down what are the highlights that you have from the PN Congress. If you have attended other sessions, then write those. But since this is the beginning, maybe you will want to write what is it that you most expect to see in the next few days. So use these circular things that look like circular sticky notes to write there. Again, you can create new sticky notes by double clicking in the area. So for example, I'm double clicking here and woo, a new sticky note. You can, it's also easier if you use a mouse. So if you use the scroll button of the mouse, you can zoom in and out much more easily than if you would use the plus or minus on your keyboard, or this zoom interface on the bottom right of this platform. Just realize that the title Zoom is used everywhere now. We're using Zoom, we're zooming in and out. So this may be confusing. When I'm talking about Zoom now, I'm not talking about the platform you're using to communicate, but zooming in and out of the picture. So once again, if you have a mouse, it's the easiest thing because you can use the scroll button of the mouse up and down to zoom in and out, and it will make it easier to follow, because you can zoom in a note that has a lot of text, for example. You can zoom out in something that appears too big, so that will help. Cool. Somebody is expecting a discussion about the creative case for UBI, prospects for implementing the UBI, just some inspiration, learning more about creating a caring economy, hearing more about the worldwide momentum of UBI, and one is being written now that is more relevant to this workshop: how writing future stories is important. Yes. Yeah, having general conversations about UBI and the human impact, building consensus on a definition. That's quite some good stuff going on there. So I hope both this session and the rest of the sessions that you will be attending will bring all those that I see on the sticky notes and a lot more. Let me see again. The 11 people that have joined are still here. That is cool. I'm still missing more from the rest. Let's see. if Joanna or whoever else can help the ones that haven't joined yet to join and solving technical issues, I'll be.
Yeah, if anyone's having issues finding the mural platform, the external place, could you raise your hand and I'll send you a direct message on Hoover with the link, and then you just need to check your Hoover messages and I will have directly messaged you the link.
The raise your hand function, you can find it from the reactions. It's on the, if you're using Zoom on desktop or laptop, there should be, it's the last button on the bottom bar. And it looks like what Joanna did right now. For the rest of you, moving on. So these are our expectations. Now it's time to go into the more practical stuff of this workshop. Once again, a reminder, this is a workshop that will give you some insights of how to write good, emotionally responsive fictional stories. So now we're gonna go into the first element of a good story. And I just moved to the next box, and I'm gonna also bring you close to me. Some of you here, yay. So what you see in this box is, again, a different set of sticky notes. The first thing that you need to do before writing your story is to essentially imagine the world that this story is taking place in. So in this part, and using the sticky notes again, I want you to basically come up with different ideas. This is a brainstorming exercise of what a world would look like. Imagine a different world, imagine a fictional world. It can be in the future, it can be in the past, it can be in another planet, it can be in a different universe, it can be not even including humans. So just let your imagination completely flow and just write down different elements that describe a fictional world. This is the world that your potential story will be taking place in. On the right side of this frame, you can see some links that can offer you some help when it comes to world building. So there are a couple of links that give you some really nice guidelines. If you are the type that learns by doing, just start writing imaginary things. If you want some information to reflect on, then feel free to just double click on any of these links on the side to just skim through the content. This will stay on the platform so you can always refer back to them. And yeah, do whatever you feel comfortable now. I'll give you 5 more minutes to just write fictional elements of the world that the story, the potential story you'll be writing in looks like. The last one, there is this prompt there saying, tell me about basic income without telling me about basic income. So we are here for a specific reason. This workshop is generally helping you write nice, engaging, fictional stories, but we are here for the purpose of basic income. So how would the world, a fictional world where basic income has already been implemented, look like? What would people do in general? How would the social relations between people look like? How would the planet be different if basic income was real? If it's a different planet, again, it could help going completely out of the box. Like imagine a different planet with a different species that already basic income exists. So how does this look like if nobody has gone through all the processes that we as humans have that make necessary to imagine basic income as an alternative reality instead of as a real one? Nice. Somebody imagines a world like the Lord of the Rings. So I guess New Zealand. Somebody imagines California, which is an alternative version of Calderdale. Is that in Scotland? I have no idea where that is.
It's in West Yorkshire, Halifax.
Right. Thanks. Describing nature, nice. I like that. Fountains, human habitation intertwined with nature, trees, rivers, green space. Wonderful stuff. A space station where art is the highest paid and perhaps most respected career. Oh God, I'd love that. A world centered around care and having free time. Cool. I'll give you another couple of minutes. If you've already written one element of that fictional world, feel free to write a second one, or imagine even a completely different world that you've imagined in your previous statement. So this whole thing is an exercise to, you know, trigger your brains to imagine a different world. I'll also shut up for a minute, but if you have something to say, something to comment on live, then again, you can feel free to unmute yourself and just speak up.
So hi, can I say something? I didn't manage to join the platform, but I have been wondering when the feeling when you have been to a great concert and knowing how artists want to perform. So if we would use all the time and resources just to listen to music all the time, and artists to play, instead of using our time to be productive into that burdens Mother Earth.
All right, I try to transfer like a quick message on the platform to write based on what you just described. Thank you for this. The next parts, yes.
Is even suggesting that in a universal basic income world, people would be able to play music all the time, and you wouldn't necessarily have professional musicians. Is that what you were saying, Vivian?
Well, the question whether something is professional or not is a very tricky question, and I would like to give space for everybody to express whatever they want to express, and then it's up to the audience to decide whether they want to listen to it or not.
Sounds great.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Time for the next part of the exercise. So I've given enough time now to go through the different parts more leisurely to get used to the platform as well. But the rest, now that I see you got used to it, we're going to go faster and more focused, all right? So you've already described a few elements of a fictional world where your story could be taking place in. What's the next step? The next step would be describing the main character of the story. Who's the hero of the story? How is the hero related to this world? So I'm summoning you to the next part. Or if you see the whole thing, you can just move down. And I'm going to put a time limit here, which will be, wait, no, this is private mode. No, this is a different one. This is a timer. So I'm going to put a timer in 5 minutes. So for this part, you have 5 minutes. Describe the main character of the story. If you're fast in writing and you imagine more characters than one, then use more sticky notes. Again, you can create new sticky notes by double-clicking in the area, or you can just duplicate existing sticky notes, or use the buttons on the left. So let's see how many different characters we'll have in the next 4.5 minutes. And again, if you zoom a little bit out, there are a couple of links that could help if you are the type that wants to reflect on existing material. So feel free to visit them or just start writing. I will shut up for the next 4 minutes. If you want to comment on what you're seeing, feel free to unmute yourself and comment. Otherwise, write.
Hey, Antonio. Yes, can you hear?
I can, but your connection is probably not the best. Your voice broke up, like I could only hear barely my name. If your connection is kind of weak, maybe you can try disabling your camera and only leaving your voice on. Maybe that will help.
Here.
Almost. I heard the word here, but nothing else.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, I'm afraid it doesn't work. You can try writing in the chat. Worst case scenario.
Work.
I see some wonderful characters shaping up. Two minutes left. Let me see. I can also for anyone who's connected but is not on the platform, or if you want to keep an overview, maybe I can share the screen. One minute left. Let's see what heroes we have around. And the time is up. I'm going to give you a few seconds to read the other sticky notes if you were to focus on yours. They may serve as an inspiration. I really like the heroes that were developed here. Another thing I like is that the heroes already have names. That is wonderful. When you hear the story of somebody and the name is mentioned, you feel a closer emotional connection. So you already got that.
I wrote a text as I can't access that one, but the chat is closed, so I can't
Mhm.
I can't send it.
There is I think we're using the chat on Hova, not the chat on Zoom. Yeah.
Okay, so then it doesn't work.
It won't exactly work like that, but maybe you can. Private messages work on Zoom or not?
Yeah, let's see now. Yeah,
Or maybe you can try again to open the platform. Maybe it will work now.
No, I've tried twice, and but if I can read what I wrote if you're interested.
Sure.
An old woman who reflects on how people's prejudices, in capital letters, over a lifetime have prevented people from pursuing their plan of life. Would UBI have made any difference? Question mark.
Okay, cool. Okay. I wrote something. I'm not sure if it's close enough to what you described, but I hope it will inspire the rest. And now time for the next one. The next one is a video that I want to share with you that will help you have a closer overview of how novels are written and how TV series are written and how movies and even games basically follow a structure that helps. So I hope you're all muted because that will help. And now I'm gonna start playing this video.
What do Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo all have in common with the heroes of ancient myths? What if I told you they are all variants of the same hero? Do you believe that? Joseph Campbell did. He studied myths from all over the world and published a book called The Hero with a Thousand Faces, retelling dozens of stories and explaining how each represents the monomyth or hero's journey. So, what is the hero's journey? Think of it as a cycle. The journey begins and ends in the hero's ordinary world, but the quest passes through an unfamiliar, special world. Along the way, there are some key events. Think about your favorite book or movie. Does it follow this pattern? Status quo, that's where we start. 1 o'clock, call to adventure. The hero receives a mysterious message, an invitation, a challenge. 2 o'clock, assistance. The hero needs some help, probably from someone older, wiser. 3 o'clock, departure. The hero crosses the threshold from his normal, safe home and enters the special world and adventure. We're not in Kansas anymore. 4 o'clock, trials. Being a hero is hard work. Our hero solves a riddle, slays a monster, escapes from a trap. 5 o'clock, approach. It's time to face the biggest ordeal, the hero's worst fear. 6 o'clock, crisis. This is the hero's darkest hour. He faces death and possibly even dies, only to be reborn. 7 o'clock, treasure. As a result, the hero claims some treasure, special recognition, or power. 8 o'clock, result. This can vary between stories. Do the monsters bow down before the hero, or do they chase him as he flees from the special world? 9 o'clock, return. After all that adventure, the hero returns to his ordinary world. 10 o'clock, new life. This quest has changed the hero. He has outgrown his old life. 11 o'clock, resolution. All the tangled plot lines get straightened out. 12 o'clock, status quo, but upgraded to a new level. Nothing is quite the same once you're a hero. Many popular books and movies follow this ancient formula pretty closely, but let's see how well The Hunger Games fits the hero's journey template. When does Katniss Everdeen hear a call to adventure that gets the story moving? When her sister's name is called from the lottery. How about assistance? Is anyone going to help her on her adventure? Hey, Mitch. What about departure? Does she leave her ordinary world? She gets on a train to the capital. Okay, so you get the idea. What do you have in common with Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo? Well, you're human, just like them. The hero's journey myth exists in all human cultures and keeps getting updated because we humans reflect on our world through symbolic stories of our own lives. You leave your comfort zone, have an experience that transforms you, and then you recover and do it again. You don't literally slay dragons or fight Voldemort, but you face problems just as scary. Joseph Campbell said, "In the cave you fear to enter lies the treasure you seek." What is the symbolic cave you fear to enter? Auditions for the school play? Baseball tryouts? Love? Watch for this formula in books, movies, and TV shows you come across. You will certainly see it again, but also be sensitive to it in your own life. Listen for your call to adventure. Accept the challenge. Conquer your fear and claim the treasure you seek. And then do it all over again.
Right. So did this work for everyone? Cool. I hope this also served as an inspiration and you got reminded of your favorite stories, your favorite movies, your favorite books, because you find that more often than not, they follow more or less this structure, not necessarily with every single step that Joseph Campbell mentions, but in their essence, stories, the ones that are engaging at least, describe struggle. You begin from your comfort zone, you face a big change, you overcome it or you fail if it's a horror movie, and then you come back to your comfort zone after going outside of it, having gained something new. You come back stronger, you level up if it's a game, and you learn something in the process. So this is something that we all kind of have several iterations of in life. This is why stories are so emotionally engaging, because they kind of remind us of our real lives. Right. So if you've watched this again, this mural board will stay where it is, so you can always get back to it after the workshop whenever you want. You can keep adding to it. You can visit the extra links that I've sprinkled around. You can watch this video again or other related ones. Now, after getting this input, let's go to the next step, which is the plot. We've had an exercise where we described the fictional world that the story takes place in. We started describing heroes that live in this world and what they look like, what their aspirations are, what their core skills are. What happens now? What does this hero do in this world? What is the main plot of the story? Does it follow the different steps of the hero's journey? Does it not? Start writing using sticky notes again. And for this one, I will give you 7 minutes. And again, on the left, there are some extra links that can serve as inspiration. I do not want you to write the entire story, obviously, just keywords that describe the different steps. So if you can write something like one title for the beginning, one title for the middle, one title for the end, that's already enough, as long as there is kind of a clear structure of what happens. I like where this is going. Again, this exercise is for the main structure of the story, so I don't really want to see full details in there, just what are the different steps as concretely as they can be distinguished. Three minutes left. 1 minute left. Make sure that the basic elements of the story that you're writing have an end, that the story concludes somehow. If you finished, have a look at the other story elements that we see here, at the other plots. And time is up. There are some interesting stories coming up there. Cool. Let's move to the last step before we work as groups instead of as individuals. So the last step is below this. Not all stories have like a message, a moral, or whatever you're going to call it, coming out of them. But since here we're focusing on writing stories that are related to a social cause that we all hopefully believe in, then this story that you started writing as individuals should have some kind of message. So if you can express that message in one sentence, which means if I read your story, your final story, not just the skeleton of the plot that you've just written, if I read your finished story, what would be the main thing that I will take as that I will have as a takeaway? Let's see. I'll give you just 2 minutes for that. Should be enough. Never work. That's a good outcome. Cool. And again, on the right side, there are some links that can really help you figure this out that you can visit now or afterwards. Some wonderful messages there. Could be useful at the end of the entire Congress to come back to this and see if you got any hint of these messages through the other sessions that you've attended. And we're done with that as well. Cool. So now for the final part, collective stories. I have here spaces for 6 teams, and we're going to be working, you are going to be working in breakout rooms. So let me stop sharing and summon you here. Now let's see how we're gonna split the different. How many are you? Like if we exclude me, you should be 13. All right, that's 2 people per group. That's fine.
Antonis,
Yes.
Leo, I think, has to leave at this point.
Oh,
Is that
I
right?
just noticed.
Yeah, you're waving. So that might impact the numbers before you send us into breakout groups. I guess it's kind of a good time for you to shoot. Thank you for joining us, Leo.
Thank you very much. I hope you got the best out of it. And Luke just left as well. All right, so that leaves 12 people without me, which is perfect. We have 6 pairs. So for the next exercise, let me see if I can bring you up here. Someone you'll hear. So for this exercise in pairs then, I want you to pick either a world and a hero that you've already developed, or develop a new one that you will work in together with a counterpart. So for this, you're going to have 10 minutes. And let's see if I can get the breakout rooms. We have 6 breakout rooms. The breakout rooms will have a number on them. So please join the block that has the same number as your breakout room. Let's see now. And I can assign you manually. I'm going to hit random couples here. The moderators are including you, yeah? You should do something.
Yeah, no, I'd love that. Thank you.
Thank
Cool.
you. Yeah, no problem.
All right, let's see. Oh, I'm missing one. Okay, then here we go. Room 2, I will add. Then you'll be 5 instead of 6. I'm opening the room. Oh wait, I should give a time for this for the rooms or no? Yeah, auto close the rooms after 9 minutes. That's because yeah, there is an extra minute. Okay, let's go. Opening the rooms. Wait, Joanna, nothing appears on your side?
It's okay. I could join room 1 to be with Andy if
Yeah, yeah.
Kim's not there.
No, pick a room with yeah, pick a room with 2 participants, not with 3. That's because you're the
Yeah.
host. I just
I'll
realized
go to
that the
room
host
1.
cannot. Yeah, cool.
Hi, Antonia, do I need to stay in this room or go to the breakout room?
No, go to the breakout room. Should be
Okay,
fine.
I think you need to open it. I went, oh yeah, I can do it. I went to room 2. I'll go back to room 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I'll go to room 4. That's fine. Because I went to room 2 instead of I'm in the wrong room, so I won't go back to disturb them. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I've come back because Craig, in the breakout room I was in, he got frozen out. So I don't know if I'm supposed to let him back in. Shall I do that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also see that Olaf and Joachim are both muted and with the cameras off and haven't participated. So
I'll wait to see if he comes back.
mhm. I guess that's a no, but I'm also a host, so I can also let him in. No, I believe the waiting room will appear on my side as well.
Has he come back in?
I don't see him in.
I can't see him
Oh no,
either.
wait,
Yeah.
it's he's in the room. It's just that I think his connection might not be the
Okay,
best.
perfect. Oh,
But I
that's
think
good.
you can go back to the room so you can try to work together. I guess there's also Vivan there, so.
Hey, Antonis,
Hey,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Just as this whole session is going to end. Oh God.
I can only hear you now out of the whole session. Yeah. I guess
So
we can find a time to have a private meeting and catch up and see how this could
that
work.
would be good. I've tried connecting with you on Facebook. I think I've followed you on Twitter, so we will find a way to communicate.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm really
Yes.
interested to read your book and see what can come out of it. All right, so we have 7 minutes until the end. So first of all, like, use reactions to let me know if you like this, if this has been useful to you, if you think it makes sense. And yeah, this particular space will remain open. There's also the last part is this is the let's connect. So I'm going to summon you here, so you can just copy a link to whatever you want and paste it here. You copy by Control-C, you paste by Control-V. I hope you know this after 50 years of computers. So this space will help for us to keep in touch after the workshop as well, apart from Hova, of course. But yeah, this space will remain open for you. You could visit all the links to see the different different outcomes of the ideation process we've gone through, and just continue working on this. So yeah, now the floor is basically yours for the past 5 minutes, just to share any kind of thoughts that came as a result of this, of your participation in this, or whatever you want to share in general. So feel free to speak.
Okay, I wish that I'd been able to appreciate more of this whole session and participate. Whereabouts do we got these links?
It's on the same page.
Oh, on that other page, the page that has the links.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this square buttons that have images,
right.
they're links. If you double click on them, you'll
link into the chat for my.
Yeah, there you go. So you can keep writing here, so we can keep in touch afterwards. Yeah, this, like I said, this page will remain open. I will not close it. So you will still be able to edit whenever you want and visit all the links and all that. So for now, I just want you to unmute yourself and share your thoughts on the whole process and how you're going to use it, or anything you want to share.
Okay, when it comes to the universal basic income and getting the message across to people who have not got quite as much imagination as some of us that are slightly more creative, if we put real people in real situations so that they can see themselves in these situations, we will be more effective in getting the message across, rather than perhaps something that is more fanciful.
Mm-hmm.
That's just an off-the-cuff thought.
Yeah. But I see your point. But then again, that's part of what we shared here was that stories are engaging when they have a character that you can identify with, and this character faces problems that you can identify with and comes up with solutions that give you hope, not necessarily by using a magical weapon or a palantir or whatever, but give you this hope that there is a next step, that you can overcome aversion. So
yeah, showing how it is possible.
Yeah.
Is that all right, just to sort of share some thoughts about the workshop? I really enjoyed it. Antonis, thanks for organising it. Very impressed with the kind of with the tech, the app. It's like it's pretty impressive that we can all sort of, when you're faced with more than 20 odd people to work with, that you can find a platform for it. I think I do like the idea of, or my favourite bit was, that moment where you get to actually just have a quick chat about it. And I think me and Joanna came up very quickly with a nice little way of weaving our stories together. So I would say that was a sort of a favorite moment for me. And as a sort of blatant self-promotion, I suppose, if people would like to continue with some of that, I'm doing a workshop about my Lutopia project, which is a similar sort of process of sort of creating fictions, but based around sort of real life conversations and using those, which was a project I did in Luton in 2018. So if anyone would like to come along to that, it's on Friday morning, and I'll do my best to sort of facilitate it as nicely as you've done here. So thanks very much for making that begin. And yeah, I hope we can get some of these little short stories kind of expanded on or published. It would be a great outcome for something like, a conference like this to have actually, pass it over to illustrators or comic book makers, or just keep it going like that. Really liked it. Thank you.
Yeah, I noticed your workshop and it's on my agenda. So I'm really interested because it's a similar topic, but whenever somebody does something similar, they do it in their own way with their own capacity and skills and imagination. So I'm sure we can learn a lot from each other. Really happy to connect.
What's it called?
I forget what the actual name of the workshop is. Sorry, I'll have it's on Friday morning. So there's two panels that we're doing. And it's from the UBI Lab Arts. So sorry, let me just kind of see if I can.
That's all right. That's all right. Andy Abbott.
I think it has Lutopia on the title somewhere. I remember that.
Okay. I will find it.
Yes.
So it's within moving beyond illustration, using the arts and creative methods to communicate universal basic income. I'll do the actual workshop in that bit. And then if people can't make it along to that, then we're doing another sort of panel in the afternoon, which is called Extraordinary Insurrection, the Power of Art and Campaigning. And I think we'll just talk about it and some other things that are in this that we've been doing is sort of sharing through this UBI Lab Arts, which I think, Craig, it'd be great if you wanted to come in on that, because we're basically having sort of like semi-regular meetups from creative practitioners that are interested in not necessarily being propagandists for UBI, but more sort of thinking about how we can broaden and deepen the conversation and make it more accessible through kind of creative methods. And we've been talking to people that do sort of participatory theatre projects and kind of video games and sort of interactive exhibitions and stuff. So it'd be great to have someone come in from a writer's point of view as well. And
yeah, that looks like the UBI lab that I should join.
Just a note on timekeeping. I'm so boring, sorry. We have reached our limit. So if you want to wrap up now, Antonis.
Yes, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who participated. I wish I would have heard more of your voices, to be honest. I realize now after going through this that I have some of your thoughts on sticky notes, but I still don't feel I would like that to be the case in the next few days. So thank you very much, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thanks, Antonis.